I just spent a month living in Mexico City by myself at 21 years old as a digital nomad. And this video is going to dive down into the details of what that was like, including things like how much it cost, where I stayed, how safe it was, what it was like during COVID. And at the end, I get into some thoughts about the digital nomad lifestyle in general. How fulfilling is it? How happy does it actually make you? And is it something that you really want to work towards or not so much? Stick around towards the end and I'll catch you guys in the first topic. So first off, we have how much did it cost to live in Mexico City? Well, it was actually very affordable, except for one element, and that was the housing. Now, if you know a little bit about the digital nomad lifestyle, you're expecting to get housing for, I don't know, 500 bucks a month, maybe less, and be staying in baller ass apartments and beaches and in skyscrapers and all this stuff. Mexico City was slightly different. So the first week, I paid about $180 to stay in a place that was pretty nice, although it wasn't a place that was all to myself. It was a floor that had maybe 5 or 6 rooms on it, and it had this nice outside balcony area, and it had a kitchen on another floor that we could use. But my room was really just about a queen-size bed and a table. That was pretty much it for 180 bucks. And then the next place I stayed at for the remaining 3 weeks that I was in Mexico City was an apartment of my own. And this place I paid $250 per week. So that's around $1,000 a month. I could have got a 10% discount if I paid for a whole month up front, so 900 bucks a month. And this place was right in the central downtown area of Mexico City called Centro. And it was 3 blocks from the Zocalo, which is the main center square of the city, right next to the government buildings and the cathedral and the whole shopping line of Mexico City. So it was in a primo spot, and it was about $250 per week. And I'll throw some pictures or videos or something up on the screen too, so you can see exactly what it looked like. It was a pretty nice spot. I had multiple beds, a nice bedroom to myself with 2 balconies, 2 windows and a balcony, big kitchen, living room, dining room area, bathroom, all that stuff. So it was a nice spot, but it wasn't exactly as cheap as I was hoping for. Other than that, outside of housing, how much was it? Well, it was actually super cheap outside of housing. I was able to get meals pretty consistently for anywhere from $5 to $7 pretty easily. And coming from the United States, Hawaii and California, and then Boston and New York City, yeah, I'm used to very expensive places. So that was wonderful to be able to get them for that. And you can even go to street vendors, food trucks that sell tacos for 75 cents and stuff like that. So very, very affordable there. If you really wanted to splurge, you could get maybe a $15 plate at some fancy restaurant, and that'd be splurging. Outside of that, transportation was super cheap, 25 cents for the metro. Ubers were maybe $3 to $6 depending on how far you're going. Very cheap, very affordable. And entertainment, I mean, museums were pretty much all you really had open to you at that point, since it was in May with COVID. But they were either free or they were about $1 to $4. Really, really super affordable. Like, I would just wander around. I'd get a metro ticket, 25 cents, go across the city somewhere, wander around, go to a museum for free or a couple bucks, and then I would go out to eat for 10 bucks or something like that. So lovely for my wallet in those cases. So all in all, Mexico City was very affordable, except for the housing part, but that actually goes down if you stay there for longer than 2 months. So if you're staying there for more than a couple months, it's much better to get off Airbnb and actually go in local Facebook groups or ask around, and you can get apartments for something like, I found one on a Facebook group for 350 bucks a month, splitting with a roommate, but it looked like a really nice spot and in a good area of the city. So overall, very affordable, and especially if you have some kind of income coming in online from either an online business like I have, or like a rental property or something like that that's bringing you in money, it's a pretty cool spot and much more affordable. It's definitely on my radar moving forward once I graduate college, and might want to live outside the US if I do, and live somewhere cheaper where I can have cheaper bills while still making a higher income from US dollars, basically getting paid in dollars and paying in pesos. That's pretty much how it works. It's on my radar for that, and yeah, I would recommend checking it out if you're looking for a affordable place to live that's also really nice. And that gets on to our second point, which is safety. Because when you say Mexico or Mexico City, a lot of people's immediate reaction is like kidnapping. Did I get kidnapped? I don't think so. Maybe they still got an eye on me and they like followed me to California where I am now, but no, I didn't get kidnapped, and I really didn't feel that unsafe really ever. Now I did make a point to get back to my room before it really got dark out pretty much all the time, so I was never really out in the dark by myself. And I think that that made a big difference. And I also asked around before I got there, and I was talking to locals and asking them where I should not go and what areas I should stick to and where I should avoid for safety reasons. So overall, I never really felt unsafe, except for one time I did actually almost get pickpocketed. And I know that I almost got pickpocketed because I was in this really crowded marketplace, and I was just walking down and I was looking at stuff, and I had my hands in my pockets because I knew that that was a danger. So I was just making sure to keep them in there, make sure no one could snag anything without me looking. And there were all these guys, like, of course, trying to sell me stuff as I was walking by. And so I'm walking down the road, and after I remember saying no to this guy, and then I'm walking, and then I see these couple of cops that are standing up ahead, and they kind of look at me, and I'm like about to walk by them, and they start walking out, and they like put their hand out, and I think that they're stopping me, but then I realize they're actually stopping a guy behind me, who was a guy I said no to like 20 or 30 seconds ago when he was trying to sell me something, and he was like totally following me, about to try to snag something out of my pockets or do something, I don't even know. But the cops kind of spotted him, and they saw that he was going for me, and they stopped him and pulled him aside. And you could tell the look on his face, like, oh, damn it, I got caught. So I did almost get pickpocketed. But other than that, I mean, I felt very safe overall, and the city was very clean. Like, it was cleaner than a lot of US cities that I've been to, especially the subways. Subways were much cleaner than Boston or New York or any places like that. And yeah, overall just felt very safe. I've heard that the kidnappings and the real danger of that stuff going on happens more. I'm sure it happens in dangerous parts of the city, but also in more rural areas. Like if you're driving from one main town to another, one city to another, and you're by yourself on the road, on these mountain roads or something, they will stop you, and that's kind of the place where they do it, because there's no one around and they can just snag you and no one will know. So being in the city, and especially being in central downtown of the city and staying in a little more of the higher end areas, I didn't feel unsafe at all. So that brings us to my last topic, and last couple topics. A, would I do it again? And B, what would I do differently if I were to do it again? So to answer the first question, absolutely yes, I would go to Mexico City again. Like I said, it's on my radar for the future as a potential place to live. But the things that I would keep in mind is, A, any advice to someone who is in the position I was like maybe a few months ago or even a year or two ago, where this digital nomad idea is really something that you think of as a necessary part of your life in order to be happy and fulfilled. It's really not necessary. And I made a whole video that I'll link to about why it's not necessary, why I think the digital nomad lifestyle is actually a little overrated. But I mean, overall, like, you have everything in your life that you need to really be satisfied and happy and fulfilled already, and traveling really won't change that. If you're not happy before you start traveling, before you start living in another city, in another country, you won't be happy in that new place either. It doesn't change anything about your internal state of mind or how you feel when you get up and what you do. It's just changing the environment around you. So I think that that's an important thing to keep in mind if you're looking at this digital nomad lifestyle or traveling around a lot. The thing that I would definitely do differently if I were to travel to Mexico again, or give it any advice to myself 6 months ago, is learn Spanish. Like, I did not learn Spanish before I went to Costa Rica or Mexico. And I went to Costa Rica right before Mexico. And I regret that, because when you're in Mexico, barely anyone speaks English. It's pretty uncommon to find someone who actually speaks English. So that really limits, like, your friends, how many people you can meet. You can't really just start up conversation with people that you're hanging out with, or like hanging out around you, or you see at the restaurant or something like that. You can't make any small talk. It really limits the feeling of integration and community that you have, even in a city, even if you don't necessarily make friends with people and actually see them on a consistent basis after that, just being able to talk to people, like make comments and kind of joke around with them, it really does contribute to a sense of humanity and happiness and social activity. So that is something that I would definitely recommend. If you're looking to go travel to another country and you're from an English-speaking country and you don't know the language, pick up the language. It's a pretty big deal. I didn't think it would be, but it's a pretty big deal. And that wraps it up. I hope that you enjoyed this little video about my experience in Mexico. If you know someone who is considering traveling to Mexico, or you're traveling to Mexico, or someone who's just curious about the digital nomad lifestyle, go ahead and share this video with them, because I think that this would help, and I wish someone had kind of made this kind of video when I was looking at doing this. And most importantly, I think the point that I wish someone had gotten across is you don't need it. It's nice, it's really fun, it can be a great time to travel and see new places and explore the world, but don't expect it to be this momentous event that just totally changes your life forever and now you're suddenly like a super happy and fulfilled person. It's just not going to do that. It's kind of like a complimentary auxiliary to an already happy and fulfilled life. That's pretty much it. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, because I make videos like this multiple times a week and you don't want to miss those, do you? No, you don't. So subscribe, check out some other videos that I got up in this corner, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching and take care.